Time is now 6 o'clock. At this time, we will call this meeting to order. This being a special call meeting of the Dawson County Plan Commission on Thursday, May the 22nd. We'll begin with invocation from Neil Hornsey, if you would, please, Neil.
Dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful county we live in, and I pray you can just guide us to make the right decisions for its citizens. In Jesus' name, amen.
And please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May be seated. This time, we will have a roll call.
Augustine.
That we do. Assume you've had opportunity to look over the minutes from March the 18th. Is there any amendments that need to be made? If not, is there a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes.
No second. Moving a second, all in favor? Are we gonna vote on the screen? Touch it.
I'm not wanting to play. I broke it. You don't have the touch. I guess not.
By show of hands, all in favor, let me know by raising your hand. Thank you. Motion is carried. Unanimous. The agenda has been presented by staff, assuming you've had opportunity to look at it. Is there any amendments that need to be made to the agenda? If not, is there a motion?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Moving a second, all in favor of approving the agenda. Motion is carried 5-0. If you're here tonight, either in favor of or opposition of any application, then you have given more than $250 to any local official campaign. There's a form that you will need to fill out, which Priscilla has up here at the desk. We will begin with our first of the public hearings in presentation of ZA 24-13. Christopher Light, OBO Pierce Property Rentals, Georgia, LLC, request to rezone 2.24 acres from RSR to COI to construct a 4-suite, 9,625 square foot professional office building. Is someone here to speak for Mr. Light? If you would, please come forward, write your name and address on a piece of paper there on the podium.
Clarification for this case. No, we normally a month later have at the second monthly BOC meeting, a rezoning meeting to be heard. In this case, because it's a called meeting, this rezoning, if it is moved forward by recommendation by the planning commission, it will be heard by board of commissioners on June 5th at their next meeting.
For the record, would you please state your name?
My name is Christopher Light. I'm with Lipscomb Johnson and Cumming. I'm here on behalf actually of the landowners, the Wesley and Mallory Pierce, who I'm joined by tonight. If you'll recall, we had a public hearing on this property in March. 2.24 acres. Proposal is a small family office. Ms. Pierce is an attorney herself, a solo practitioner. She would like her own office space. Her husband is a general contractor who also needs some office space. He builds or remodels student housing all across the country. He was telling me all the states he's been in just a few minutes ago in the last few weeks. And then they also have a pottery class space in the city of Dawsonville right now that they're wanting to relocate to their own property and discontinue renting that space. The building would be big enough to have a a fourth office unit, which they would intend to rent out to a tenant with a very similar type use to theirs, or small office. It is on Georgia Highway 53. In our original meeting, we had 3 people speak in opposition, and I have provided you with summaries of steps we've taken to kind of discuss some of those opposition comments. Ms. Jett, who lives on Acorn Drive, was concerned about Acorn Drive. We have worked with your planning staff, and we will not be accessing Acorn Drive. Mr. Ledbetter seemed to indicate, and I think there was some issues with the staff report in indicating some medical office use, which we are not doing. This is small, general, professional office building. And then he was concerned that the driveways were lined up and that would affect his access on Georgia Highway 53. And I provided a aerial photo showing that the driveways don't in fact line up. We also did some preliminary work with the Georgia Department of Transportation in that we would not need a decel lane. The use is such low volume traffic that a general driveway was preliminarily reviewed and stated that it would be okay. If there's more information on that, our engineer is with us tonight as well. We also looked more closely at the wells in our neighboring properties to make sure our septic system, because sewer availability is not there, would be compliant with all state and local laws, which it does. We also looked more into the stormwater with our engineer and provided an exhibit of where those things might be. So with that, submit to you, we're totally compliant with all state and local laws with this application. We believe it's a low intensity on a state route and in compliance with your comprehensive plan. And we ask that that you guys support that request and with a recommendation of approval. So I'll step down and take any questions. Thank you.
In addition, there were some recommendations from staff. Are you aware of those?
Yes, sir. All recommendations are agreed to by the applicant.
Are there any other?
Just a quick note of revision. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So in your packet, you've got recommended stipulations, and there are essentially 2 paragraphs under planning land use zoning. One, because it is a little more should and suggestions that may not be the most appropriate, that second paragraph, for a set of zoning conditions. So the proposed zoning conditions would read as follows, and this is just the first paragraph. Exterior building materials visible from the rights of way shall consist of a minimum of 70% per vertical wall plane of brick, natural or precast stone, stucco, prefinished colored architectural masonry with a rough hewn texture and glass. Accent wall materials do not exceed 30% per vertical wall plane. Accent building materials include but are not limited to stucco and thin brick, smooth-faced or painted concrete masonry units, aluminum siding, vinyl siding, and corrugated steel are prohibited. Metal coping and metal framing for windows and doors are acceptable.
And the second paragraph, of course, being should, which would be a recommendation. And you are aware with that and compliant with it.
I am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're totally fine with that.
All right. Any other questions to the applicant? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of the application? Seeing none, is there anyone here to speak in opposition to the application? Seeing none, at this time, we'll close it to the board for discussion. Gentlemen, discussion? Is there a motion? Motion to approve.
Second.
Moving a second to approve. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries 4-0. You will need to appear before the Board of Commissioners on June the 5th. Presentation of VA 25-01. Darrell Ani is requesting a variance from the Dawson County Land Use Resolution side setback requirements to reduce the left side property line setback from 5 feet to 1 foot to construct a staircase and landing from a second floor exterior door. If you would, please come forward, write your name and address on the piece of paper there on the podium.
All right, good evening. I'm Daryl Lonnie. My wife and I have put in this variance request. We're currently under construction in the final stages. We have a rooftop deck, and this door that we would like to build this landing out of and connect to the concrete, as you can see in the pictures that Priscilla provided, will allow a second egress from the rooftop, should there be a situation where they would have to get off the roof. It's very straightforward. We are only 5 feet away, well, 8 feet in this area, but we have to have, right now, we've approved to 5 feet and a variance from the original construction. We need 3 more feet of that. So what we're asking for is the ability to put this in as not a general variance, but just that applies to this landing and door connecting to that concrete that we have right there. So our one neighbor on that side, Chris, is here, and he may wish to speak on his own. That's basically what the variance is for. The property from when we originally purchased the house to started construction was found to be significant distance closer to the other property line than was originally thought, and in the documents, they were very old, from like the late 1970s, early 1980s. So it's very simple. We just need this for a second egress coming out. It'll be built out of metal. It'll match the rest of the railing systems around the house. Very aesthetically pleasing, I guess you would say. And it's a more modern house. With that, I'll take any questions you might have.
For clarification, what's the size, rough square foot of the footprint that you're looking,
Of the landing,
landing itself?
it's roughly 3 foot wide, and then we don't know the exact distance until we measure back up the stairs, but it looks like it'll then run along that wall, maybe like 6 feet before the stairs start. The drawings haven't caught up with the actual measurements of where the concrete ended.
So just to be clear, you're not needing a 1 foot variance all the way down the line?
No.
Just for this footprint?
Just that,
Of the land?
just the area around that landing.
Any other questions, to the applicant? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of the application? Is there anyone to speak in opposition to the application? If you would, please come forward, write your name and address on the piece of paper there on the podium. Sure.
Hi, my name is Chris Foster. I am the neighbor on the impacted side of the property. My wife and I were amenable to the original variance, reducing the setback from 15 feet to 5 feet, and happy to be collaborative moving forward. The house is very large, it's very beautiful, it's very close. So as long as we're talking about just the stairs and not a general variance to 1 foot, I think we're comfortable. We just want to make sure that it is just the stairs going down to the newly built parking pad, doesn't survive into perpetuity, and nothing else is built in that 5 foot setback that's required today. Other than that, we're comfortable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else speaking in opposition? Seeing none, at this time we'll close the board for discussion. Gentlemen? Discussion? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the variance for the staircase.
No second. Moving a second, all in favor? Motion carried 4-0. So you do have your variance. And that is just for the landing for the stairs. Presentation of VA 25-04, Wes and Lindsay Wiggins, requesting a variance from the Dawson County Land Use or Resolution to reduce their VCR zone front setback by 20 feet from 35 to 10 to bring their existing non-conforming home into compliance to construct an addition with a new front porch. If you would, after you finish writing your name, for the record, please state your name.
Wesley Wiggins. Lindsay Wiggins.
So, looking at the issue at hand, it's showing a front porch addition. We're actually doing an addition for a customer that owns a house on the back. The problem is, this house used to be a cabin. They bulldozed it and rebuilt on the structure. And it was never, I guess, caught back up with the new laws. So now that we are doing an addition on the back, the fact that the house is too close to, I guess, the street, this became a factor. So we're not adding anything to the front whatsoever. The house is where it is. There's a existing porch, deck on the back, and it's like a sunroom that they want to turn into a bedroom. So all we're doing is closing it in. It's already under the roof. We're not doing anything in the front. We're not going any closer to the front of the house. It's just a porch that is open, looking at the lake that they want to turn into a bedroom.
We're asking for the setback to come from, but it doesn't currently meet the 35-foot setback that is
The existing house.
currently
right.
there.
So
So
we
we're asking
can't,
to reduce it down to 10 or 20, sorry, 20 feet so that we can bring it up to compliance with code. And so we can add the addition to the back of the house.
yeah, so we're not moving the house. Obviously, they can't.
So
do
the
that
house itself is non-conforming as it sits.
as it sits. And they hired us to do an addition on the back.
Correct.
So we're just helping them bring the house up to standard.
Conformance of code.
Very good. Any questions to the applicant? Thank you. Is there anyone speaking in favor of the application? Seeing none, is there anyone speaking in opposition to the application? Seeing none, at this time we'll close the board for discussion. Gentlemen, any discussion? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Moving a second. All in favor? Motion is carried 4-0. You have your variance. Presentation of VA 25-05, Trey McConnell, OBO Molly Cress, is requesting a variance to the Dallas County Land Use Resolution side setback requirements for properties on VCR to reduce the existing eastern side property building setback from 2 foot to 2 feet from 10 feet to 8 foot to construct an accessory garage. Is there someone? Okay. After you finish writing your name, would you please state your name for the record and give us a brief representation of why you need a variance?
Yes, sir. Trey McConnell, Coal Mountain Builders. I'm representing Ken and Molly Cress. Quick clarification, it's the north side of the property that we're getting the 2-foot variance on. It might read differently, but if we're looking at a map, it's the actual north side. Anyway, so Ken and Molly, they own 220 as well, so this is 222. They own the property to the south. On the north side, the way the property kind of tapers and slopes from the top, we had to do kind of a curved retaining wall to kind of fit a little tiny driveway in there. So we just had to push the garage back 2 feet. So that's really all we're asking for into the north side variance.
Okay.
That's,
Any questions of the applicant? Thank you.
yes, sir.
Is anyone here to speak in favor of the application? Is anyone to speak in opposition to the application? Seeing none, at this time we'll close it to the board for discussion. Gentlemen, any discussion? Seeing no discussion, is there a motion?
Motion to approve the variance.
Moving a second, all in favor? Motion is carried 4-0. You have your variance. Number 5, an amendment to section 133-272 of the County Code of Ordinances relating to road dedication requirements. First of 3 hearings. Second and third hearings will be held before the Board of Commissioners on July 17th, 2025, one at the work session, the other immediately following the voting session. Mr. Richard. Yes. Sir.
Public Works and the county attorney's office have brought forth this text amendment. Right now, the chapter 133 for what they do, the subdivision section, development regulations, is
takes the most time to make code changes of any part of the county code. I don't know at this point, I still haven't figured out why it was initially put that way. But if somebody wants to change the zoning part, 121 by comparison, they come before y'all planning commission, they come one time before board of commissioners, and a decision can be made. With Public Works, chapter 133, the subdivision section, it's got to come before y'all planning commission and then come 2 times before the board of commissioners before a decision can be made. This is a cleanup to change that to be similar to most public works engineering type code standards that would say, if this gets approved, if they want to make future changes, they just come one time before the board of commissioners. And also the road dedication process. This is a cleanup where, again, Public Works and County Attorney's Office has given some language changes, and it's in your packet where it just talks about if and when the unusual case where somebody does a new development and all the roads are to be dedicated to the county, there will be a process that the county attorney's office and Public Works is more comfortable with and more legally appropriate moving forward.
Is there any public comment in regards to this tonight? Seeing no public comment. Gentlemen? Any discussion? Do you wish to vote to carry it forward?
Mr. Drury would be very disappointed. if Didn't get this moved forward.
Vote to carry it forward. Motion to carry it forward.
Second.
Moving a second to carry it forward. All in favor? Motion is carried 4-0. It'll be carried forward to the Board of Commissioners then. Updates by planning and development.
Essentially, the county code, because we're in a residential development moratorium, we cannot accept new rezonings for residential developments right now. In this meantime, we're working on a couple of things, the fee schedule. So our staff will bring that to y'all at the July Planning Commission meeting, propose changes to the fee schedule that'll overall be minor. For the most part, just kind of line item it out so that, everybody will understand, staff and the citizen, how much does it cost to get a demolition permit or, certain things. And then July also will discuss proposed code changes related to growth management, slowing things down. That's the overall consensus that higher quality is preferred and slowing things down is preferred. So we'll discuss those in July. In August, we'll have you a formal agenda item to formally review, formally make a recommendation if y'all choose, and then send it to Board of Commissioners. But in the meantime, as part of this review, I'll be glad to meet with y'all individually if y'all want to. I sent y'all an email today about just some draft ideas. And also we're getting citizen input. We've got monthly long-range planning committee meetings. And so we're getting input there. And then also we'll have a survey. The Board of Commissioners asked that staff put together a survey that would get sent out to everybody's property tax assessment notifications, hard copy, and then online. Anybody starting at the end of next week, it should go live Friday, May 30th. They can go on the county website. There'll just be a QR code, and it's either SurveyMonkey or another one of those very low cost options where, you can only do it one time. You can't do it 100 times. There's that built-in fail safe,
Right.
But it's not a big survey. It's about 10 questions asking, what areas of the county might new growth be appropriate? Separately, what areas of the county most concern you, if there's, any future growth proposed, things about residential, single family homes versus multifamily apartments, townhomes, different things. So that's what kind of to be looking for this summer. We'll be working with y'all on code changes and the fee schedule changes.
That leaves us with item M, which is adjournment. Is there a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned.
Gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abby.